Hey everyone, it's time for May Star EOC and a little bit of AP. This video is going to be basically logistics explanation. We already know that in January everybody got trained on the STAR manual and they've signed their oaths, and most people have tested at least once in some capacity between BOY, interim, field test, or STAR, so we kind of know the process. Um, if you have any questions about giving the exam, please feel free to ask, but I feel we're trained enough for that. So we're just going to go through logistics here for May. Starting May 2nd, we have some AP exams in the school from May 2nd to the 6th. You can kind of see I've got it set up here where it's dates, the exams, locations, other notes for those days, and job descriptions down below. But I just want to tell you the logistics first. So May 2nd through the 6th, various AP exams in the Lote area. They're going to be relocated. There's a link to the AP exam information. The Lote folks are going to be relocated for 5 days in a row. They may be coming into your room. Please welcome them if they are, and I appreciate you sharing your space with them. Starting the week of May 9th, we have the U.S. History EOC. May 10th, the Algebra 1 EOC. May 11th, Biology EOC, and the 12th and the 13th are makeup days. While that's going on, we also have other AP exams happening those days that they're listed. And finally, the week after all of that, we have some alternate date AP exams, which affects a very few amount of our students, but you can see where the locations are going to be for those testings. So I would suggest pausing the video and kind of looking at all those areas. But mainly we are testing for the 3 days, the big EOC days in the 1300s. There's a couple of rooms that won't get used those days. If you teach in any of those exception rooms, you are allowed to use your room. Please obviously keep it down, but you need to meet your students at a different location. They can't just come back to your room. So like room 1325, they should meet their students maybe by the exit by the biology rooms like 1312 and 1313. They can all meet you right there. And you can walk them outside around to the other entrance and bring them in. And then at the end of class, walk them back. Same thing for art students. You should meet them at one of the exit doors and then escort them to class and back to class and pick up your next group. And then Lowe and Whitney Kelly, have your students meet over by the senior atrium area once the bell has rung, which it won't be ringing actually. Passing period's over, you can bring your kids into your room. Things are tight, so we have a couple of exceptions around this time. Moving along, there's some other notable things that are happening. On May 10th, not all freshmen take algebra, some take geometry. There's going to be a large amount of students, up to around 200, that are going to be reporting to the Lego gym during certain periods that they're not able to meet up with their 9th grade teachers. If you look at the tab down here called Geometry Kids, each student will be getting a unique schedule for that day. All the students that are listed here, if there's a red block under a certain period, they'll report to the Lego gym. But like I said, they will get a pass for that. You can start talking to your geometry kids about that if you teach geometry. Moving backwards, just while we're here, there's a tab with student test assignments. If a kid asks, you can give that information to them. Otherwise, as you know, it's always posted around the school. I'm going to put up an extra set in the freshman hallway this time because the majority of our testers are freshmen. Back to the training agenda. On May 11th, we're going to have to use one room in the freshman hallway that's close to testing to hold some kids for AP. I just wanted to let you know that's happening. Below here, what I would suggest you do is pause the video and read what your job description is. But we have a cafeteria captain. Mr. Short's amazing. Anybody who's a test administrator that has non-testers, you will print rosters and highlight the names of the students who are expected to show up in the cafeteria who are non-testers, and you'll give those rosters to your department chair, and they will give it to Mr. Short. If you'd like to include an assignment with that, that's fine. You can clip something on a paper, but they will not have access to computers that day unless they can do that work on their phone. The other duty that we really, really appreciate is called cone duty. It's a VIP duty. You've been selected. If you're not testing during your conference period, it's possible that you've been assigned to a certain area of the 1300 hallway to relieve the test administrators if they need a restroom break. They'll put the little orange cone out in the hallway, kind of saying they need something. They'll wave their hand down, and you can give them a break to go to the restroom or grab a snack, 5 minutes, maybe 10. There will also be counselors placed in the hallways to assist with testing. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Freshman duty in the Lego gym. That's important that if you're assigned to that you get down there and help with those freshmen and take accurate attendance and get that back to us in the testing room each period. Hall monitors will be assigned to a certain area, some restroom, some just hallway. Just make sure you assist with everything that's going on and help block non-testers from getting in the testing area during passing periods and assist where needed as well. Test captains will be the principals coming around to monitor the testing environment and taking notes about what they see. If you're a test administrator, you're giving the test. If you're in the testing room, you know what your job is. In the library, there'll be some classes coming and going in there. Jessie will just be down there to assist any of the teachers if they need it with attendance. But Jessie is not there to monitor your students. If you are being assigned to the library, you will go with your students and take your own attendance and teach your own class that day. A couple of people will be proctoring an AP exam instead of giving an EOC, and I just wanted to note that on there so we don't mix anybody up. If you're a backup administrator, please be ready. We're going to prepare the others just in case, and that's great. So this is kind of just the logistics of what's going on day to day. So now you want to know what your assignment is. We're going to move over to this staff assignments tab. Basically, there are 161 staff members listed here. If you're a teacher, principal, paraprofessional, you're probably listed here to have a job on testing day. And I just want to talk you through how it's set up here. It's sorted alphabetically by department and then by staff member. Your regular classroom is listed. That helps me. But then we have 3 days of EOC in purple. We have May 9th, U.S. history, and then the jobs that you're going to have for that day. Scrolling over in the red, we have May 10th, Algebra 1, and in the green, May 11th for biology, and then just makeup testing for May 12th and 13th. Very, very few people are involved in that. All right, so how do I read this thing? So I'm going to filter it just so you can see. I'm going to create a filter, and I'm going to filter it by this color purple because that's everybody involved with May 9th testing, okay? And if you click here, you can see it's 52 people are involved in it. We have 22 classrooms of testing, but we have 52 people involved. So there's just a lot more than test administrators. So once this gets filtered, you can kind of see what everybody's duty is. Calcanio is the test administrator in room 1301. Jenny Metz, administrator in 1306. Miss Bobbitt, she's not testing that day. She has cone duty at her conference period. And then these are the rooms that she's getting moved into. Let's look at somebody else. So like Mr. Grayshon, he's not going to be here that day, so his kids are just going to go to the cafeteria. No point in having a sub chase around. Coach Orr, Mr. Orr, he's being reassigned. He's got cone duty on his conference period, reassigned to the library first, Lego gym third, library fourth, and then to the library fifth as well. Okay, I'm going to unfilter it, turn my filter off by none, and it's back to normal. Don't worry about the colors. They're more for me than for you. If you really need to know. I'm filming a... Oh. Say hi, Melinda.
Hi.
Okay. She needed candy. Moving on. If you want to look for your name or room number, you can always hit Control F and the little search box comes up. And I'm going to, just for the sake of doing it, I'm going to use Boucher. Did I spell it right? Okay, and his name comes up one time, so he's on here. And then if he goes across and looks at his duty, on the 10th, he's done freshman duty in the Lego gym. He doesn't have anything on the 9th. And then he doesn't have anything on the 11th. But his room number is 1617. And we know he's way out there. So I'm going to type in 1617 on there, and his room number comes up 6 different times. So yes, it shows us his regular room number. Then there's a 167A, which is Geisler. Moving along, you can see it again. Coley is in his room on May 10th at 4th period. He's in Geisler's room, 1617A. Clicking to the next occurrence. Mr. Curtin is in 1617 that day. Clicking again, Martinez gets to go out there on the Green Day or May 11th. So that's how you find what's happening to you those days. Let's do another person. Let's say Maggie Harden. Okay, Maggie Harden shows up once, and that's just her name. So she has no duties related to star testing per se, it seems, but look at her name. It's there. And here on May 10th, her job is star cone duty at her conference period. So just because your name only comes on once doesn't mean you may not have a job. So make sure that you look across the sheet when you get there. If you have any questions, let me know. So the other things we need to talk about logistically, the lunch plan for the day. We're hoping to finish testing before 5th period, but we are planning to be out 1st through 5th. Obviously, we will get news to you if that plan changes or we're able to transition to class early. We cannot make announcements or ring bells during this time due to AP testing. So most likely you'll be getting a text message from your department chair or an email. But just because the limited amount of communication that we can have on these days, we will most likely plan to remain through 5th period. You will, if you're not testing, you will take your regular lunch. And people who are testing will be assigned to lunch as time passes, depending upon the volume of what's going on out in the lunchroom and, what we're seeing. So the lunch plan is a little bit in limbo. More emails may be coming out if we get a more solid plan. But that's about it. Please make sure that you complete the training quiz and have a great day. Ask questions, ask your department, ask your friends. If you need clarification or help understanding the spreadsheet, I know it's huge. I am here to help. We have all next week to make sure we can consume it. Thank you very much.